Hey, what's up everyone? The topic of this video is going to be biblical prophecy. So, for this video I'm going to be stating a few of my theories and ideas regarding the final Antichrist. Now, there's a verse in the Bible that states that he shall seek to change the times and laws. So, and this is during the final generation in the world as we know it. During the last generation, I'd rather not call it the beginning of the end, but the end of the beginning of eternity, in my perspective. So, basically, now we call it end times prophecy, talking about the end of this world as we know it, but my theory on this, now it's just a theory, is if during the time, if we're living right now, if right now we are living in the time, the generation of the return of Jesus Christ, which many feel we are, and I felt since I was a child, before I should even know certain things that we are, I felt many things that I should not have known as a child. So, first, if the final Antichrist is stated to seek to change the times and laws, and those people who are chosen, the elect or the chosen, or the people who are just the people who are awake, basically, the ones who are awake and aware of this, like those affected by the ME phenomenon, if we are the ones who are aware, and if we are in the generation, and I've strongly felt around the time of 2000, around sometime around after 2030 is going to be a pivotal point prophetically, in my opinion. Now, that's just my opinion. I don't want to be a false prophet and state this is exactly what it's going to be. No, but I feel 2030 to 2033, sometime between that time period. But I'm just stating that if we are living in this generation, wouldn't we be the ones to actually witness the times and laws be changed? Now, if he shall seek to change the times and laws regarding the final Antichrist, the final prophesied Antichrist, the beast of Revelation, and the false prophet, the second beast, now the technological advancements we see taking off during that time, now having the image of the beast, the speaking image, the talking image, the power to give him breath and life to the image, we see that not only in robotics, humanoids, holographic projections, screens, phones, tablets, computer screens, TV screens, all of these screens everywhere we go. We could be watched and monitored by this image and the breath and life given to it. I mean, that's just a thought of mine. But if we're living in these times right now, those of us who are awake and aware of this, shouldn't we be able to be witnessing the changes that he will be doing very soon? That the final Antichrist, the beast, will be doing very soon? So basically what I'm stating is, if this powerful force, this sinister force, is going to be changing the times and laws, maybe that means the times, the universe's timelines, multiverse, whatever, and the laws of physics themselves, maybe that's what that means. Some interpret it literal, some interpret figurative, some interpret it as changing the documented laws in existence, and the times, the times change, like oh, how the times have changed. And yes, they have, but that's how some interpret it. Some interpret it literal, some interpret it figuratively. But if you're interpreting it literally, wouldn't we be the ones right now, those of us who are awakened, like the Mandela Affected people, wouldn't we be the ones in this generation to be witnessing the changes that he does? So, that's just a thought of mine. Wouldn't we be witnessing it now? if a force in the future, in this case the final Antichrist, the beast of Revelation, is to he shall seek to change the times and laws. If he's going to change these things, wouldn't those of us who are awake and living in this generation of the time of that this is going to happen be witnessing it? Wouldn't we be witnessing these changes while the rest of this world goes along and, I mean, just moves about their business without noticing it? Just a thought. That's just a thought of mine. I mean, if someone's going to change something, change the past in the future, if someone soon, during this generation, is going to change the past and the times and laws, wouldn't we be witnessing the changes take place now? And that could be some of the Bible changes and some of the things that happen, and we're like, whoa, what the heck? This is way wrong. What in this world? We're just like bumfuzzled by what's going on, but yet some people, so many out there are bumfuzzled, and some think, it's nothing, we're just crazy. And others, those of us who know, we know that something big is going on. And we felt it our entire life. I felt it since I was born. Well, as long as I can remember. And I've also felt I've had an importance. But many times I go through this darkness, and the darkness takes a toll. I try to outdo it with a light, but it's difficult sometimes with the darkness and depression. The manic depression episodes. But also, just think about it. Wouldn't we be the ones witnessing the changes that the final Antichrist is supposed to do? Is going to do? If we're living in the generation of it, wouldn't those who are awake, living in this generation, the generation of it, be witnessing the changes that he is to do in the future? Because we're living in the changed times now. You get what I'm saying? We are living in the changed times that he's supposed to be changing in the near future, so wouldn't we be witnessing them now? That's just kind of a thought perspective I'm putting out there. An interesting verse to look up is Ezekiel's wheel as well. That's an interesting verse. I would like to hear all of your input on that, all of your thoughts. So another verse is in the book of Daniel. It says that, let me show you a few things. So basically, if the Antichrist, the final Antichrist, or the beast shall change the times and laws, or seek to change the times and laws, wouldn't we be witnessing that now? And couldn't that be what we're witnessing? Also, the book of Daniel, Daniel 12:4 says, "But you, Daniel, shut up these words and seal the book until the time of the end. Many shall roam to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased." That's one interesting verse that sounds like the times in which we live. And is this the hidden knowledge coming to light now? If you look at that verse, Daniel 12:4, with the hidden knowledge coming to light, the sealed words being revealed, maybe even partially through this phenomenon. Another verse that greatly relates to the times in which we live is Obadiah 1:4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord. And that's something we see today. We set our nests among the stars. All of these towering buildings, all of these, maybe that's a representation of all of the space travel and all of the things, all of humans setting our nests among the stars. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory if that's what this means. There's another verse that talks about about the moon giving off 8 times more light, and the sun being as bright, being 8 times brighter, the moon being as bright as the sun. The moon being as bright as the sun, and the sun giving off 8 times more light, or 7 times more light. I can't remember, I'll have to look it up, than it did before. Basically, the moon being as bright as the sun, and the sun giving much more light. than it did before. I don't want to state the verse wrong. Isaiah 30:26. The light of the moon will be as bright as the sun, and the light of the sun will be 7 times brighter, like the light of 7 days, on the day that the Lord binds up the bruises of his people and heals the wounds of the inflicted. Implying that this world will be the world you live in will be quite different then, as we see today. And Jesus Christ himself spoke several words in Matthew that greatly relate to the times in which we live. You can look up the prophecies of Matthew 21, and the things that take place and are spoken of there are greatly related to the times in which we live. Now, the verse that I pointed out a moment ago was Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and he shall wear out the saints of the Most High. He's going to be doing so much that it wears out the saints of the Most High. He's going to be doing so much changing, so much confusion. Now remember that it does say that God is not the author of confusion, that Satan is the author of confusion. The dark one, the one that masquerades around as light, leading many astray, the dark side, acting as light. And in these times good shall be viewed as bad and right shall be viewed as wrong, and vice versa. That's another verse in the Bible. It says that light shall be viewed as dark, good will be viewed as bad, right as wrong, and wrong as right. But he's going to be wearing out the saints of the Most High. That's how hard at work in these times the dark side will be. And that's how hard at work that the final Antichrist will be. Using his powers, bringing down fire from heaven and creating miraculous wonders in the sight of men so that they may worship him and follow him and accept that system and accept what's to come as the only source of salvation, as the only source of, we're seeing it all play out as the only source of, and those of us who are aware, hopefully we will ascend and hopefully we can make it through this and we're chosen. But wearing out the saints of the Most High and the angels on high, the saints, changing the set times and laws. See, I remember it just saying changing the times and laws, but it says the set times and laws there. But this is, let's see, the King James Version says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. Basically, there shall be given him power for these 7 years. And if he's changing them in the near future, wouldn't those of us who are awake and aware be seeing those changes happen now? That's when it mentions the time and a half and that prophecy of the 7.5 or the 7 years, the final 7-year tribulation. So the book of Matthew tells how it is. Matthew 21 is a really good verse to read, where Jesus Christ tells how it will be when they ask him, Lord, what will be the signs of your coming? And he said, surely I say unto you, these are the signs. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but these are the signs of my coming, of my second coming. And he stated that there'll be earthquakes in various places, wars and rumors of wars. Now, at that time, we would not have even known of the earthquakes around this world. We didn't have the technology to see them the moment they happened. At that time, it took months for news to travel, sometimes years. He spoke of the pestilences, the famine, the plagues. He spoke of the way people are, the disrespect, the hate, the anger, the bloodthirstiness, the greed. He spoke of just everything that you see, the perversion, the hate against one another, the false love, with the people being without natural affection, things being completely mixed up, people being messed up, things being so confusing. And also, if you look at the blue and red Kachina prophecy of the Hopi Native American Indians, they spoke of the times in which we live, and it greatly relates to the Mandela Effect phenomenon. It really does. it's just something that I just wanted to share. There are other verses that were in my mind, but read this verse, Daniel 7:25. Read Matthew 21. There are several verses in the book of Daniel, Ezekiel, Revelation, Obadiah, about all of these things. So Daniel speaks about the final Antichrist, saying in 7:25, right here, and Revelation continues more of the prophecy that we're seeing happen now. So, but the good news is there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully this phenomenon that is awakening us is a sign of unity for us all. And I'm going to continue to try to spread the love. Pray for my darkness. Pray for the depression. Pray that I feel better, persevere, and good fortune comes about in my life before we do go through our journey into eternity. So this is prophecy, and I just wanted to give a few of my thoughts on how this phenomenon could be relating to prophecy, particularly biblical prophecy. So this has been my biblical prophecy video, and how this Mandela Effect phenomenon could be relating to the seeking of the changing, when he shall seek to change the times and laws, and we could be witnessing the changes spoken of right now. We could be witnessing, if we're living in the time of this to occur, then what is done, the changes that are made to take place by that final ruler, the dark one. If we are witnessing what he is to do, if he is to do that in our generation, basically, wouldn't what we're seeing now, wouldn't that be what we're witnessing? I'm not stating that right. Basically, if he's going to do that, and it's in our generation that we'll see it, wouldn't we be seeing the changes now that he will do? Wouldn't we be seeing them take effect? Those of us who are aware and awake to this phenomenon. And couldn't this phenomenon be part of that? Just a thought. Much love, peace, God bless you all. This has been my thoughts. These have been my thoughts. Peace. Bye. I hope to speak with all of you again very soon.